Usopp versus Perona is my favorite fight in One Piece, and in my opinion the best fight in One Piece, and that does not only have to do with the fact that Usopp and Perona are two of my favorite characters of all time. It has a little bit more than that behind it. So you might be wondering why precisely this Usopp fight and not, for example, Usopp versus Sugar, and that's because I feel like the other standout fights for Usopp are also like following the same beats as Usopp versus Perona does. So that's why I'm focusing on this one, because the same beats can be used in the other fights. Besides, it will always be priceless to see Usopp paired up against a very strong fruit user that he just can like defeat by his own means, which is something I absolutely love. That's why I also adore the fight between him and Bakarat, because, well, that ended in a fantastic way as well. But we are here to talk about Usopp versus Perona, so that's where we are going to focus on. This isn't a fight of strength, and this is why I really love the fight, because they use other means to get where they want to be. Even Perona, with her Devil Fruit, isn't using sheer strength to win or try to win from Usopp, which is why the fight remains interesting in my opinion. Can we also talk about how strong the Devil Fruit for Perona is? Like, people, when you ask like what is the strongest Devil Fruit in One Piece, people are going to like refer to the Gura Gura no Mi or the Ope Ope no Mi, but in my opinion the Horo Horo no Mi can really be up there, because it's damn versatile fruit. Like, Perona can not only use her offense attack with like the ghost that explodes, the hollows that explodes, but she can also use it to manipulate her like opponents with the negative hollow. She can use it to like do recon. She can use it in so many ways, and I think that's why this fruit is like so strong. And I feel like an awakened Horo Horo no Mi, like, everybody go hide, like, jeez. We have to keep this in mind, because Perona isn't an easy like person to defeat. Like, for sure Sugar has a strong Devil Fruit, but she was a child, so like defeating her at some point could have been done by somebody else. But in this case, only Usopp was the person that could be up to the task of defeating Perona, and I think this is why this fight stands out so much to me. The biggest thing with Perona is that she's a bit of a prat and a little bit childish, so that's why she could be like a bit of a person to underestimate, but she knows how to use her Devil Fruit. She uses it very creatively and in a very good and creative way, and she really knows her stuff. She knows how to get to her opponents, and we see this, for example, with Zoro when he gets hit with a negative hollow. Like, he is incapable of fighting her anymore, so I love the fact that someone like Zoro could never defeat Perona. Maybe now, but like back then, he couldn't have defeated Perona. Only Usopp could be the one to step up and do this. The reason why someone like Zoro could never win from Perona is because, well, he is this kind of confident person. He knows that he can win a fight, and he doesn't go into any fight thinking he will lose. Meaning, when he gets hit with a negative hollow, he gets really affected. It hits his confidence, it hits his ability to think that he can do this, and that's why it hit him. While on the opposite side, Usopp is somebody who doesn't go into any fight thinking he can win. So he goes into every fight thinking he's going to lose, or assuming he's going to lose, and he learns to overcome that in every fight and just go on. So Usopp is already used to this, so when the negative hollow like hits him, he doesn't feel anything that he hasn't felt before and overcome before, so he just knows how to deal with it. He's just like, yeah, I mean, same as every other fight, let's go. And that's what it makes this fight so great, because it shows some character growth for Usopp as well, or like gives us a better understanding of how Usopp operates. I feel like this is such a big moment for him. The great thing about this fight is that both Usopp and Perona actually use psychological warfare to try and win this fight. Like, Perona uses her astral projection, like sizing up, sizing down, going through him and sticking her hand through his chest like, I'm gonna get your heart, haha, I can't do that. But like, Usopp doesn't know that, so sure, the guy gets scared. And I love that they have about the same way of fighting. Well, Perona obviously has her Devil Fruit power, and Usopp is usually a sniper, so I think it's very interesting that they both resort to these kind of tactics. And it's a smart way to fight like this as well. Like, Perona doesn't know how much her opponent can take this kind of things. Like, for the same, like, it could go very well just as easily as go very bad. Like, somebody could call her bluff and then you just lose. But like, Usopp is a little bit easy to scare, so of course he like walks into that at first. But Usopp is also just used to being scared, so he just kind of rolls with it, I guess. The funny thing about that is also, like, you need some confidence for your own bluff. Like, you need to trust in yourself that you can tell a lie convincingly enough for the other to be scared and affected by what you're telling. So it's weird because like the whole thing about this fight is that Usopp isn't confident and Usopp doesn't believe in himself. But he's so confident in his own lies that he just thinks that it's good enough to use as a weapon, which is interesting. So the physical logical warfare goes back and forth for a while, and like this fight could go on and on if they just kept doing that, because well, in the end it's useless for Usopp to keep attacking her astral form, and he realizes that. He realizes that her physical form is somewhere nearby and he knows where she is. So he goes to her, like he fires a bomb, she gets stuck, fires another bomb, cockroaches all over her, and she's flipping out, which honestly, lucky on Usopp's part, because like there's no way in telling how somebody would react to that, but it does fit within Perona's like character to react like that. She would freak out about cockroaches the way she's all like, oh, everything has to be cute and everything, so it does suit her that she would go freaking out about like cockroaches crawling all over her and everything. I mean, I would be the same. I hate cockroaches, I hate bugs, they're disgusting and I don't want them anywhere near me. So I would be flipping out as well. Like, I cannot blame her, but like Usopp does have the look there that is something that worked. And then of course the last blow is like Usopp's, what is it, 10-ton hammer or anything. Like it's been a while since I watched the fight. Like I rewatched it like writing the script. But like it's been a while since I wrote the script, so I finally got around to filming it. But yeah, he uses his big ass hammer and like acts as if he's going to hit her, and she just passes out from all these impulses that she's getting. Like she's the cockroaches to worry about, she got the fact that she cannot move, and then this hammer coming at her, she can't get out, and all these impulses are just too much for her and she passes out, which once again is lucky on Usopp's part, but again also kind of fair to assume that could happen. Especially with somebody that isn't as physically strong, because what you can say about Perona is that she probably wouldn't win in just chewing punches around. Like, she wins because of her devil fruit and using it in a psychological way. So this makes the fight so great. Like, of course it's a bit partially luck, but also just like really showing Usopp's intelligence in this fight. Like, Usopp isn't a dumb guy. Like, he can come off as a little bit dumb when he hangs out with Luffy, because then they share like one brain cell. But Usopp is a smart guy and he shows insight in kind of things, and like of course he isn't Robin smart or anything. Like, Robin is by far, I think, the smartest straw hat on the ship, but Usopp is no dummy and he uses his intelligence to get by. Like, you see this in most of his fights actually, but I feel like no fight shines through like this one, because he accurately estimated how Perona would react to his attacks and his bluffs, and it just worked out really, really well, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Like, let's not forget that both of these characters have a lot of charisma. Like, Perona is pretty much a fan favorite, I could say, even though she's bratty, which is really surprising, because usually I don't really like bratty characters either, but she is really one of my favorites. I love her. Her design is appealing, let's not forget that, and just the way the fight was written was really, really good. Usopp tends to be annoying for a lot of people as well, but he has a fair fan base as well. Like, people love the comedy that he brings. Like, Usopp is my favorite Straw Hat, so I really, really love him. They work together very well. Like, when Luffy fought Enel, like, he was his natural enemy, and I feel like Usopp's negativity is like the natural enemy to Perona's like abilities, which is really, really cool to see, and I cannot wait to see more of Usopp fights like this. Like I mentioned Sugar, of course, this was a little bit more of an obvious one, with Sugar more likely to freak out because she, well, is a child, but I would have preferred like something a little bit different maybe there, because, well, I feel like it takes a lot of beats from this fight as well. Like, it's just very, very similar to Usopp versus Sugar. So I want to point to Film Gold with Usopp versus Baccarat, because, well, I feel like this is great. Well, he's not the only one fighting Baccarat, but he's the one in the end, like, doing the whole thing with the coin in the slot machine and then just her luck running out. It's just so good. It's smart, and it's like, it's not just punching around or anything, it's just using your intelligence to win a fight, and that is what makes a fight interesting for me. Because when I see Zoro going up against someone like King, for example, sure, the fight is cool and I enjoy the hell out of it, but we all know that Zoro is going to win by slashing the guy, right? With Usopp, you can always expect a creative solution to something that's happening, and that's why Usopp is one of the best characters to watch in a fight, and I feel like no fight represents that better than Usopp versus Perona, which is why this is, for me, the best fight in One Piece. So So that was it for my video here. Please let me know in the comments below what you think of this fight and how you feel about what I just said. Please just don't go attacking me with like, Zoro versus no was obviously better, because sure, I enjoy those fights. I love the hell out of all the Onigashima fights. I enjoyed Sanji versus Queen, I enjoyed King versus Zoro, but this fight just works on a different level for me, and that's why I picked this as the best fight in One Piece. Either way, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye!